I never thought I'd end up writing this, as if it were the script of some cheap revenge movie. But here I am, months later, with the keyboard as my only release valve. Maybe it's to finally close the wound. Maybe so someone else reads this and doesn't make the same mistakes I did, trusting blindly when the red flags are screaming. It all started on the night of December 31st, 2024, a date that, for me, had always meant hope, a clean slate, a fresh start. Ironically, that night marked the beginning of the darkest and, at the same time, most liberating chapter of my life. We had been together for 7 years. 7. We'd gone from teenage sweethearts to an adult couple. We'd moved in together 3 years earlier, met each other's families, taken spontaneous trips, even opened a joint savings account labeled Our Future. We had a list on my phone with baby names for the kids we'd have someday. We weren't perfect. We argued over stupid things, sometimes went days without sex, but I thought that was normal. That mature love was like that. Comfortable, predictable, safe. That New Year's Eve, we decided to stay home. No noisy parties or crowded bars. Just us. A home-cooked dinner, pasta with the sauce she made better than anyone, a bottle of red wine we'd been saving for a special occasion, and a soft playlist in the background. I was happy with the plan. She not so much. From the afternoon, I could tell something was off. Not exactly cold, but nervous, like she was waiting for an important call. She kept checking her phone every few minutes, turning it face down when I got close, and whenever a notification came in, she'd grab it quickly, almost anxiously. She even took it to the bathroom twice. I told myself it was just my paranoia, that after so many years together it was normal for her to have her own digital space. At 11:45, I decided to run to the corner store for a bottle of soda. We'd run out. I was gone no more than 10 minutes. When I got back, I found her sitting on the couch, lit only by the glow of her phone screen, wearing a smile that sent a chill down my spine. It was that wide, playful, bright-eyed smile she used to give me in our early years. I hadn't seen it directed at me in months. "Who's texting you something so funny at this hour?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "The work group chat. They're sending New Year memes," she answered without hesitation, turning off the screen immediately. I didn't push it. At midnight, we toasted. The kiss she gave me was brief, mechanical, like checking off a formality. Outside, fireworks were exploding, the whole city was celebrating, and I felt an emptiness I couldn't name at the time. Later, in bed with the lights off, her phone started vibrating non-stop on the nightstand. Once, twice, 3 times. She pretended to be asleep, but I could feel her tense up. On the 4th buzz, something inside me snapped. I reached over and looked at the locked screen. "Happy New Year, my love. This one was tough because of the circumstances, but next year we'll spend it together for real. I miss you so much it hurts." The message was from Javier Redheart. I didn't feel immediate rage. I felt an icy clarity, as if the air in the bedroom had suddenly turned to frost. I waited a few minutes, breathing slowly so I wouldn't wake her. Then, with surprisingly steady fingers, I entered the passcode, our anniversary date. It was still the same. What I found shattered me inside, but it also gave me a strange calm. Chats going back almost 11 months. Intimate photos she'd never sent me. Voice messages where she laughed with that husky, happy laugh I thought was only for us. Detailed plans for hotel meetups while I worked overtime so we could have a better future. Messages where she told him she was planning to leave her boyfriend, that I was just a mistake from the past. And Javier replying that he wanted to leave his wife too, that their young daughter wasn't an obstacle to their true love. I didn't wake her. I turned off the phone, put it back exactly where it was, rolled over, and pretended to sleep. That was my first conscious decision, no explosion. No dramatic scene she was probably expecting. I was going to think. I was going to plan. The following days were an Oscar-worthy performance. I kissed her good morning, asked about her day, made coffee like always. We even made love once, and I forced myself to seem passionate while my mind reviewed every screenshot I'd secretly taken. I saved everything in an encrypted folder in the cloud. Messages, photos, voice notes, exact dates, locations of their meetups. Then I looked up Javier. He was a co-worker in her department, married for 8 years, with a 4-year-old daughter. On his social media, everything looked perfect. Family beach photos, anniversary posts to his wife, "I love you to infinity" captions. That's when the idea of revenge was born. I didn't want to scream or smash things. I wanted them to feel what I felt. their perfect worlds crumbling suddenly, with no way to glue the pieces back together. For weeks, I kept pretending. I even suggested a romantic getaway for our anniversary in February, a mountain cabin, just the two of us, to reconnect. She accepted eagerly, eyes sparkling, probably thinking she could sneak off to see him that weekend too. A week before the supposed trip, I made my move. First, I created an anonymous email through a VPN. I attached the most damning evidence: explicit photos, compromising voice messages, screenshots of them planning their future together while lying to their respective partners. No text, just the files and a subject line: the truth about your husband. I sent it to Javier's wife. That same afternoon, I confronted my partner. I came home with a calm that even surprised me. I showed her my phone with the sent email and the receipt. Her face went from confusion to terror in seconds. She turned white, started shaking, then sobbing uncontrollably. She begged me on her knees to forgive her, that it had been a mistake, that Javier meant nothing, that she loved only me, that we could get through it with therapy. I let her talk until she had no voice left. Then, with the same icy calm, I said, "I'm not leaving you because of him. I'm leaving you for me. Because I can't look at you anymore without feeling disgusted by what I let happen for months." I gave her 1 hour to pack her bag and leave. She didn't scream, didn't argue. She just cried silently while gathering her things. But I wasn't done. 2 days later, Javier was fired for inappropriate conduct in the workplace. Someone had leaked the evidence to HR too, though they'll never know it was me. His wife kicked him out that same week. I found out through public social media. Cryptic posts about pain, deleted photos, statuses about rebuilding from scratch. My ex's family found out. Her older sister messaged me asking for explanations, and I sent her a carefully selected set of proof. Mutual friends found out too. The dominoes fell exactly as I'd imagined. She tried contacting me for weeks. Calls from unknown numbers, tearful voicemails, long emails saying she finally understood the damage, that she was alone and depressed, that she'd lost everything over one mistake. That please, give her another chance. I blocked her everywhere. I never replied once. Today, almost a year later, I live in a smaller apartment, but it's mine. I've traveled alone, met new people, laughed for real again. I'm not proud of how cold and calculated I was. Sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. wondering if I crossed a line. But I don't feel guilty either. I didn't destroy anything that wasn't already rotten from the inside. I just sped up the collapse and removed the masks they'd put on themselves. That December 31st, I lost 7 years of my life, but I regained something infinitely more valuable: my dignity, my ability to decide for myself, and the certainty that I'll never again let anyone take me for a fool. And I learned a lesson I'll carry forever. Sometimes, absolute silence and the most precise action are the most devastating revenge. It makes no noise, but it destroys entire worlds.